Welcome back. Now, before we take a look at the day's business news, let's first take a look at the stock indices across the GCC. And in our top business story, on the sidelines of ADIPEC, Masdar and ADNOC announced a joint venture that will benefit the oil and gas industry as well as the environment. Under the partnership is the 450 million dirham Emirates Steel Industries Carbon Capture Upstream, or ESI CCUS project, which is the first CO2 capture, usage and storage project in the Middle East. It's made up of three elements: the industrial capture of carbon dioxide from the ESI facility near Masdar, the compression and dehydration from the Masdar carbon facility, and finally the transportation of the CO2 to an ADNOC onshore oil field for enhanced oil recovery. This will reduce the pressure on the use of natural methane gas that's traditionally used to pressurize oil wells and aid oil recovery. Instead, natural gas can now be used for power generation and water desalination. It is hoped that through the project's success, similar initiatives will follow across the UAE and the region.
The pilot proved its viability, and the fact that we are proceeding and going ahead with such a joint venture proves that we have been able to strike a relationship between the CO2 price and the liberated gas and the enhanced oil recovery in a commercial way, which allowed us to proceed with such an initiative. And we are very optimistic for a future network of CO2 captured and transported into the reservoirs.
Passengers more than doubled on Air Seychelles' Abu Dhabi route in the third quarter of the year to reach 22,694, up from 9,187 a year ago. Company figures show that seat factor on the Abu Dhabi route rose 13.3% to 63.7%. Additionally, Air Seychelles reported international passenger growth of 91% to 55,238 in Q3, up from the same period in 2012. According to the company, the figures come as a result of the airline's expanded international fleet and schedule in the second quarter of the year. And overall passenger numbers on the airline's combined domestic and international services grew by 42.4% to 99,946, compared to 70,193 in the third quarter last year. In its highest quarterly performance on the Mauritius route in 3 years, the airline carried 9,041 passengers, up 38.5% from a year ago, and traffic was boosted by extra flights in August in response to local demand during school holidays. Abu Dhabi's TAQA has reached an agreement with Pension Denmark, the Danish pension fund, to sell its stake worth around $240 million in the Nordgas Transport BV natural gas pipeline in the Netherlands. TAQA acquired its 40% stake in the pipeline, which is operated by GDF Suez E&P, in 2009 from Royal DSM NV, which consists of around 470 kilometres of offshore pipeline, with a daily gas capacity of around 42 million metres cubed. The NGT transaction is expected to close by the end of the year, subject to regulatory approvals. TAQA also owns and operates a gas storage facility in Alkmaar and is developing a gas storage at Bergmeer, which will be the largest open access gas storage facility in Europe when it reaches full capacity in 2015.